to Straight Up Paleo, where we talk all things nutrition straight up. I'm one of your hosts, Christina Rice. I'm a holistic health coach and a nutritional therapy practitioner in training currently living in Los Angeles. I'm also the creator of the health and wellness blog, addictedtolovely.com, and the host of the Actually Adultish podcast.
And I'm your other host, Kara Halderman. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner from Dallas, Texas, creator of careaboutit.com, and co-host of the Low Carb Conversations podcast. In this podcast, we will be discussing all things paleo, health, and nutrition, along with answering questions straight from you.
If you want to submit a question for us to answer on the podcast, head to straightuppaleo.com or email us at straightuppaleo@gmail.com.
Remember our disclaimer. The materials in this podcast are only to be used for advice and are not to be used in place of general medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
If you want to support the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a rating and a review on iTunes. Enjoy the show! Hey, Kara.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, I'm just recovering from a very crazy weekend.
Okay, what happened?
Well, can you tell that my voice is really messed up? Or am I just sensitive to it? Okay. Well, maybe I'm just sensitive to it. But I kind of lost my voice because we had the Good Fest this weekend.
So is that worth it? Like, I've heard a lot about it. And is that worth going?
Yeah, it's so much fun. Like, it's a huge... So if you don't know what the Good Fest is, it's this huge wellness festival. And my friend Kate from Killin' It, she founded it with two of her friends, Jess and Jen. And the first one was in Philly in last April or whatever, last spring. And then they just threw one in LA, and now they're going to have the next one in Philly again this summer. And basically they bring a ton of speakers in the wellness space, and there's a marketplace with different vendors, and it's just a day where it's all about the true meaning of wellness, I guess, not just like the flashy stuff, and you meet so many different people. The speakers are incredible, and we picked different tracks, so I did yoga with Sophie Jaffe, and Jessica Sapel came and talked. And who else? Kelsey Patel did a meditation at the end, which was amazing. There was a female founders panel that I saw, which is amazing. I know somebody came and talked about sex, but I didn't hear that one. My friend Sahara Rose talked about Ayurveda.
Okay, so I heard her on a podcast, Melissa Ambrosini's podcast.
Did you hear her on my podcast?
No.
She was on Actually Adultish.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go back and re-listen to that because I heard her on Melissa Ambrosini's podcast, and I became, slightly obsessed.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Her.
I love her.
I'm, really cool. Starting to get into Ayurveda because it's kind of, making sense in my brain. When I hear more about it, I'm like, wow, this makes sense why smoothies hate me.
Yeah, exactly. No, Ayurveda is real deal. I'm a believer in that. But yeah, it was really awesome. Huge event. So many people there. And they just knocked it out of the park. It was very Instagrammable, aesthetically pleasing. And my friend came and stayed with me. And meanwhile, a ton of my other friends were just in town. So it's just everybody is in town. So a lot of action going on. And also the event was so loud that I was screaming for most of the day to try and get people to hear me.
Was there just so many people there, or?
It was, all of the time periods when you could talk, they had this DJ blasting music. It was like being in a club. So nice. It was really intense. So to talk to anybody, you had to scream. So that happened, and I'm just so tired and exhausted. And I also had more sugar than I'm supposed to have on my protocol, but whatever. It tasted delicious, but I paid the price, and hashtag no regrets. And I feel very hungover from cacao and too many dates.
Oh my God, yeah. Dates. life. It's okay. I'm on like a semi-sugar hangover as well right now. It was the Super Bowl, you know, that stupid football thing
Oh my
that
God.
happened.
I forgot about that.
I would have forgotten about it if I didn't have a boyfriend who liked football, but I just take that opportunity as the time to make really good food. So, well, first of all, I went to my dad's house and we were at the grocery store and we just saw these like overripe bananas at the bottom of the stack. And I was like, nobody's going to take these. I have to utilize this so it doesn't go to waste. And they are perfect banana bread material. So they gave it to us for free. And I just made banana bread out of it. So, you know, there's some sugar right there.
Good.
Oh my God.
I love banana bread.
I didn't even have a recipe. I literally was like, I have confidence in myself. I'm just going to wing it. And it came out perfect. I don't even know how that happened.
Yum. Oh, banana bread. So good.
It was so good. And I ate that with like a whole bunch of ice cream. So that was good times. Sugar.
Worth it.
Sugar number one. And then yesterday was the Super Bowl. And I don't know, I ate more banana bread and we made these, you know how you see those cauliflower buffalo bites around Instagram? Yeah, we made those. And I made like the most amazing Asian chicken wings ever. Like sticky Asian chicken wings. They're crazy. I don't know what else we made, but I feel
really
like
good.
Hungover from all the food. And I ate like a whole bag of siete chips with salsa. So
siete. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag wish it was. Oh my gosh. Wait, before I forget to tell you, I found a new squash at the store that I've never heard of before.
What is it?
It's called, I don't know how to pronounce it, potimarron? Potimarron? Have you heard of that?
No. Wait. Like patty squash? Like, is that what it's called for
No,
short?
it's not patty squash. It's orange, and it's like a cousin of the pumpkin. I don't know. I saw it at Erewhon, and I was with Addie, and I go, because I was about to buy delicata, and I was like, what is this? And she goes, oh, that's that weird squash potimarron or I don't know. And I was like, what is this? So I thought I'd just try it. So I have it in my kitchen.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it before, but I've never, it literally looks like a
weirdly shaped pumpkin. Yeah.
Like a weird pumpkin, but let me know how that is.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Well, but I also bought, because I was at Erewhon and they had pre-cut kabocha, how do you say it?
Kabocha, I think.
Kabocha squash.
Yeah.
And I bought that because it was pre-cut, and I was like, yeah, so I got to eat that first, and then I'll move on to this mysterious pumpkin cousin.
Mysterious.
I'll keep everybody updated on how this squash goes. Life is so interesting when you eat squash.
Yeah, you're not even used to it.
I'm not used to it. It's a whole new world, so
there's
that. There's that.
Honestly, right now, yo, I feel so weird. I just woke up from a nap. Like, you know, when I don't ever take day naps. Ever. And I don't know. I just woke up from one and I feel like I'm on drugs.
There have been like 2 times that Kara has taken a day nap, and both times she says this, so I know she never takes them.
This is why I don't take day naps, because I wake up and I feel loopy and I don't know what day it is, what time it is, like what's going on right now.
I think the last time you took a nap was after I came and visited you and gave you adrenal fatigue.
Probably.
That was the last time.
I'm like low-key scared for when we go to Portland, because I'm like, I'm going to get adrenal fatigue again.
Yeah, no, don't worry. But it's going to be your birthday, so we have to do all the things. And
oh my God, I'm so excited.
It's going to be really fun, but you got to keep up with me because you also have to help me study for my NTA.
True.
Midterms, which I'm really screwed for, but whatever. And then also you're going to get adrenal fatigue again, because just so everybody knows, we're going to have a straight up paleo getaway where I'm coming back to Texas with Kelly, our intern, who we love.
Oh my God. It's going to be so fun.
We're coming back. God, this is like, I'm going to be in Texas once a month for the next 3 months.
Why? What are you doing here?
Oh, wait, I mean, twice. Wait, I lied. I'm going to be, oh, wait, never mind. That's not true. So,
okay.
So we're going to Portland at the end of this month, at the end of February. And then at the end of March, me and Kelly are coming to visit you in Dallas. And then at the end of April, I'm going to Austin for Paleo FX.
Oh, wow. I'm so jealous
So
about
I'm like
that.
just in Texas. I'm around you.
If I, that's cool. If I don't get into the NTA group leading thing, then I'm going to Paleo FX. I'm like, I haven't heard back from the NTA, so hey, email me back if you listen to this.
Well, yeah, I would love to have you if you want to join me. Otherwise, I'll just gallivant around solo. It's going to be fine. There's going to be so many people there. It'll be fun, but yeah, a lot of travel. You're going to get adrenal fatigue.
But thank God I have SomniFix to help me sleep.
Thank God. Woo!
Yes, it does help so much. I haven't been wearing it as consistently, but when I wear the SomniFix, I notice like just a crazy difference in the sleep quality that I have, you know, like you just feel way more rested and you don't have morning breath.
Oh,
when you wake up. Well, I don't.
I didn't notice.
Well, because when you breathe through your mouth and you're a mouth breather, you're like,
that makes sense. I mean,
drying it out and making it gross.
Ever since that one day that I didn't wear it, I will never, like, I have to have it. I honestly have to have it. I sleep so soundly and I have the most intense dreams, which is interesting. But if you guys don't know what SomniFix is, if you haven't listened to our podcast before, it's this mouth taping device. It's hypoallergenic.
Sounds high tech.
Yeah. This is us trying to be biohackers. And you put it on your mouth before you go to sleep and it tapes your mouth closed because we are actually designed to be nose breathers, not mouth breathers. So it's much more efficient to breathe through your nose and it forces you to breathe through your nose. However, don't worry, there's a small vent in the SomniFix that will allow you to let little breaths through if you really feel claustrophobic. But this has changed my sleep and so many people have been sending me pictures of themselves wearing these.
Yeah, same. I love it.
Saying that it helps so much. And if you snore, this is great. But you also don't have to snore. I don't snore. And it just has helped me like get really, really deep sleep. I've never slept better. I actually sleep. I sleep at least 8 hours a night. Since this, Kara, you'd be so proud of me.
And that is a really big improvement for Christina, if you guys didn't know. But I'm the same. I don't think I snore a lot either. I just have these crazy vivid dreams. And when I wake up, I feel like I just woke up from like hyperspace deep sleep or something like that. And then it's crazy, but I feel so much better whenever I wear it. And Corey, my boyfriend, loves it. And I force him to wear it if he ever stays the night at my house because he does snore. So it works every time.
Stops you from
always
drooling. Works. Yeah. And like if you are somebody like me who would wake up in the middle of the night, I would get this to make sure that, you know, this could totally fix that because I don't wake up anymore in the middle of the night.
Yep.
So because it forces your body to stay in that parasympathetic state all night. So people don't realize that when they're breathing through their mouths, that can stimulate the sympathetic state. And then your cortisol can spike literally from that. And then that can make you wake up. So when you are breathing through your nose, that keeps you in the parasympathetic rest and digest state, aka sleep. And we need to sleep through the night so our bodies can repair and rebuild and restore themselves. So if you're not getting high quality sleep, you can't have a high quality life. Just going to put that out there. So
I want a shirt that says that.
Yeah.
High quality sleep equals high quality life. And
hashtag SomniFix.
That is so something that I would say. Oh yeah. Hashtag SomniFix. If you are listening, you guys need that shirt. Yeah. Well, I would so buy it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we should make that. Yeah. So if you want to try it out, make sure you use the code SUP, sleep, SUP, SLEEP for 10% off. And you buy it through Amazon. So it will get to you in 2 days if you have Prime, which pretty much everybody has Prime nowadays. But I swear, try these out. I mean, I wouldn't steer you wrong. I truly believe in this. And I just think I can't get over it. It's such an easy fix.
I can't either. And I first thought it was crazy. Like when I heard about it.
I was like, this is not going to do anything.
Yeah, I was like, no. Like half of this biohacking stuff, I look at it and I'm like, no, that's dumb. Like, I'm not doing that. Yeah. It's unrealistic for people, but this is something that is so realistic and is cheap to get and will greatly impact your life because, like we said, high quality sleep equals high quality life. Mm-hmm. And if you have sleep issues, like, you know how true that is. And even if you don't have sleep issues and you're just like, I wonder what it would be like to sleep even better and have even more energy throughout my day. It's just a cool little hack, a cool little trick, and it's inexpensive, and you don't have to wait around for months and months and months for like a protocol to kick in that you're trying or something. So give it a shot.
I think sometimes people have, like, a lot of people have gotten used to crappy sleep, you know, and so they just think that that's normal. They don't even realize how bad their sleep is, and then you can use something like this, and then you'll realize, wow, I was not getting good enough sleep. So I honestly think everybody should be using this unless you have a medical condition where you can't breathe through your nose. But I literally feel like everybody should use this the same way everybody needs to brush their teeth at night. To me, this is like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like sleep hygiene. I don't know. I think it's really important. So yeah, you can go to SomniFix.com to buy it, and it'll link you straight to Amazon, because that's where they sell it through. But make sure you use our code so you get that 10% off. I think you guys are going to love it.
Yeah. And just thinking about this, if you're still having a hard time thinking about like, how does covering my mouth make me more relaxed? It reminds me of meditation. Like if you ever have sat down and done like a formal guided meditation, they always tell you to breathe in through your nose and like breathe out through your mouth, or breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose. But the nose is always involved because that is like what Christina said, puts you in a resting state. And you know, when you're in meditation, you're like ultra relaxed. You could basically just fall asleep. So it's kind of the same thing here, except you're doing it for 8 hours at night.
Yes. Love it. Also, that ties into like alternate nostril breathing, which is a really popular technique. You know, that's why we're focusing on the nose breathing. So excellent point, Kara. I'm very excited about SomniFix in my life, and I'm obsessed with it. So
I know, same.
Cool. Also, you guys, don't forget, we have a giveaway going. Did you know?
With ARTISANA.
Woohoo! All the nut butters.
I'm pumped.
I am so pumped. So we have how many winners? 3?
3 winners, 2 jars of nut butters each of your choosing.
You get to choose. I know it's a hard choice, but you get to choose. And all you have to do is basically share our podcast in some way. So either leave a rating and a review on iTunes and screenshot it and email it in, or share our podcast on your Instagram stories or your Instagram page and screenshot it and send it into our email, straightuppaleo@gmail.com.
And it takes, seriously, if you think that's too much effort, I've done this many a times and entered many giveaways in my life, and it takes about 2 whole minutes. And we're picking 3 winners, so you have way more of a chance to win and get free nut butter. I'm really pumped,
effort than going to the store and buying nut butter.
I know.
Save you money.
But I'm making cashew cookies tonight out of their cashew butter. And I'm just really excited because their cashew butter it's thick.
You should make my Mind Pump Ahoy cookies, the keto cookies, on my blog, because I use that cashew butter.
Ooh, yum.
They're
What's
really
in them?
Good. You have to go to my blog.
Dang it, just tell me.
That cashew butter is in them. That's what's in them. They're keto cookies, though. They're good. Yeah, so this giveaway is going to close on the 15th, February 15th, 2018. So make sure you send it in, and we can't wait to pick a winner.
3 of you.
3 of you. 3 winners, sorry. So yeah, that's that situation. Do we have any other updates going on?
No, other than just general life is rolling around. I don't think I have any other updates.
Cool. I feel like I should acknowledge the fact that Kylie Jenner had a baby.
Okay.
But, like, that's all I have to say about it. And
Did you watch that video that she posted?
A few random snippets, but I'm just honestly not interested in this at all, and I just can't.
I got really interested once I got sucked into her Instagram last night because, I don't know, I guess she pops up on my Explore feed. And I saw that video. So I clicked on, I guess she made this YouTube video, like, documenting, that's not even a word, I feel like, her whole pregnancy, and it really, like, confused me, to be honest.
Yeah,
it was like a not very good home video.
When are these people ever going to stop doing things to just bring publicity. I'm just over. I don't really care. I just felt like I had to say something because I felt like that was more exciting than the Super Bowl, to be honest. But then I lost interest, and I just, yeah.
The Bachelor is also way more exciting than the Super Bowl.
How Becca was I don't even know. I'm over it.
Okay, wait, tell me about that, because you sent me that article and I didn't read it.
I mean, I didn't really even fully read it either, but basically she was filed as a missing person, and I guess her mom filed her as a missing person. But
Ari stole her.
She wasn't missing. I don't even know. I don't understand. I don't know why that was out. I feel like this must mean that she's getting kicked off soon because she's trying, like, someone's trying to.
Or maybe just Ari and the fact that they're 14 years older, he's being a pedophile and stole her away.
I don't know.
That really creeps me out.
She's not gonna win, so that's fine. But I don't know. I can't deal with it. Let's talk about food, because that's why people are here. No one cares about them. So we have a few things that we want to talk about today, and we'll see if we get to questions. If we don't, then next week will be questions. But we have some important issues to discuss first. The first is the issue.
Stop eating dry lettuce.
Just say it.
I just gotta come out and say it.
Stop eating the damn dry lettuce.
Please.
You guys, we get so irritated with people on the gram, on the Instagram.
You guys, I could cry right now thinking about this topic, okay? I'm getting, like, emotional.
She's getting hot. Things are getting hot in here. Things are heating up.
Things are heating up. Okay, so on Instagram, we see these, like, really beautiful plates, you know, with all the veggies and stuff, and there's this big pile of greens, and I'm like, there's obviously no dressing on these greens. Like, they're dry, and I just want to know, if you are a dry lettuce eater, especially if it's like arugula or kale, like, how do you do that? So
I honestly, I want to say that people just don't think about it in terms of the lettuce, but I don't believe that. I honestly think it's people who are still concerned about fat.
That's what I think it is. I think it's like it may even be like you don't even realize it, or maybe it's an unconscious like fear of fat. But just because everyone on Instagram is posting like stuff with dry kale, like dry arugula, I hate that word, and dry lettuce does not mean that you cannot dress your salad. You actually really should put olive oil and lemon on your salad. And it just makes me so irritated when I see lettuce.
Okay, this is, you know how they say, people get confused if they're really hungry, if they're just bored. Yeah. And so they say, do the broccoli test. Would you sit down and eat a plate of broccoli? I don't think that is the best test, because I think broccoli is delicious and I would eat that whether or not I'm hungry. I think a better test is, would you eat a bin of dry arugula?
Oh, I would never eat dry arugula.
I once was so hungry that I thought I will just eat that container of spinach, and that was how I knew the hunger was real.
Yeah, to test if you're really hungry, guys, next time you're hungry, just be like, would I eat a bag of raw spinach right now?
If you would, then that is true hunger. But, I mean, guys, you just gotta... Okay, let me ask you a question. So, what if it was dressed? What if the greens were not dry, but there wasn't any oil on them? Would you still be upset with this?
I would still be... I wouldn't be as offended, but I would still be upset with it. Okay, I was telling you this last night, but I grew up in a very like food-centered family, and my dad like trained to be a chef at one point and all this stuff. And we grew up cooking, and I grew up watching Food Network a lot of the time as well. And if you watch Food Network, you know that they talk about always dressing your salad or like dressing your greens, because it makes it way more palatable and the texture is better. And so that's just what I grew up doing. I never, ever ate dry lettuce. Yeah. And I don't know, like, it's just like a food taste thing. And that's in the culinary world, like something you just do. Like if you go to a restaurant, real nice restaurants that make quality food, they don't ever give you dressing on the side. They always dress your salad for you because they know that that's what you are supposed to do. And that is what enhances the flavor of the greens. And there's something just, if there's no oil, the texture is still weird. It won't be as strange.
Yeah.
But
And so because Kara's used to this, she doesn't understand the concept of like this is why a lot of people run into this common mistake. I ran into this mistake. A lot of my family does this, where you have to go out of your way to add fat to foods. So I think about when I was first starting to cook for myself, I didn't know anything, right? So in my head I'm thinking, okay, I know that vegetables and meat is healthy. So I go to Trader Joe's, I get some bags of veggies and some chicken, and I look at the instructions. I don't know what I'm doing. I look at the instructions and it says pierce holes in bag microwave. So I do that. God. And then I think, okay, I cook my veggies, right? And then my chicken, you can just microwave the chicken. And so I do that. And then I think, okay, cool. I just cooked veggies and meat, and there's my meal, right?
Solid.
So you see how somebody who like doesn't know what they're doing, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you mean, because I used to think that a baked potato was a meal.
Yeah.
Like when I first started paleo, what I would do is I would eat like just a huge, like a baked potato the size of my head.
Oh my
and
God.
I would pass out. I would put like, I don't know how I did that. I would go into like carb comas immediately after, and I'd put like tons of, have you seen that Earthbound like coconut oil butter spread?
Yeah.
Before? Yeah. I used to use that. Because I don't know why. I saw it with coconut oil, butter spread, and I was like, healthy. Okay. So I would do a big baked potato with a bunch of salt and like garlic powder and pepper and a bunch of that spread. And that is what I would eat. But then I would be so hungry, and it wasn't even real hunger. It was like cravings for just anything. 2 or 3 hours later, after I awoke from my carb coma, I just want like all the paleo cookies and treats and whatever, just because I was not eating like balanced food, balanced meals. So like you're saying in the beginning, I guess it's hard for people to understand the fact that we do need more fat, even if you're like cooking with fat. Still, I know people like roast their vegetables in fat or cook their meat in a little bit of oil, but that's sometimes like still not enough. So just going back to the idea of like dressing your salad, just using like a tablespoon of olive oil, even just to toss your greens with, and a little bit of lemon juice, increases the taste. It's going to taste way better, and you can eat a lot more lettuce. 2, helps your body absorb the nutrients from the greens more, because we need fat in order to really assimilate the vitamins in green leafy vegetables. And then 3, it's going to help you with cravings later on down the road, like blood sugar imbalances and all of that, because fat's going to be keeping you more stable, and you're not going to feel crazy a couple hours from now wanting all the cookies and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it drives me insane. When I see dry greens, I'm like, you are not getting enough fat in your meal.
I think some people still have this inner fear of fat. I mean, I know I struggle with this with my parents. I was telling you, I go home with my dad, and he does not eat enough food, whatever. And he's like, and I go, do you ever put oil on anything? He's like, no, I don't need it. And I go,
what does it cook with?
He doesn't. He's like, oh, I have my salad, but I don't usually put any dressing on it. I just eat it without it. I don't need it. And I go,
Jeez.
He doesn't understand the concept of just because you say you don't need it doesn't mean your body doesn't need it. They're called fat soluble vitamins for a reason. And so he doesn't even notice that. Or same with my mom. When I was telling you, I couldn't figure out why. For so long, I couldn't figure out why my mom would make me the exact same food that I make for myself, but I was so hungry whenever she made it for me, because then I later found out she never roasts things in oil. So There we go. I'm not getting any. You have to get some source of actual calories. And to me, vegetables don't really count. I know I'm a little extreme.
They count.
I don't. In my head, when I'm looking at a meal, I'm like, where's my density? And it's in the protein and the fat. I know. You need some sort of, density. And so this especially kills me when I see people who are eating lower protein, and you can't just have just a meal of vegetables, because what is satisfying you?
You will be starving. You will be starving just a couple hours later.
And even if you don't notice it, your body notices it internally, you know, and
I know that.
especially
I
with
feel
hormones.
cold.
Oh,
yeah, I was going to say, I feel cold. Like if I don't eat enough, well, naturally I feel cold, which, by the way, I'm starting to realize that way more women than I think have this issue with feeling cold, like having cold hands and feet all the time. And just this sense of being colder than like everyone around them, always needing a sweater and a jacket, which, by the way, is a warning sign that there is something hormonally going on, like a thyroid issue or a downregulation of your metabolism. So it's not really normal to feel freezing all the time. And that's something that I'm trying to get better at. But one thing that helps with that is eating enough fat. So if I don't eat enough fat, I immediately notice, I can tell within a couple hours that my hands and my feet are really cold. And that's not something that I want. To me, like fat feels like it kind of revs up my metabolism a little bit when I eat enough of it. So I think it's really important to, like, that's another little thing about tuning into your body and noticing all the little nuances. And that's another cue that could be like, maybe I'm not eating enough fat, is if you're just cold all the time. So that's what I use.
Yeah.
To tell.
And once you get used to eating enough fat, you can tell when you don't have enough. You know what I'm saying? I felt like before I ever ate enough fat, I just had no sense of needing it. But then once you do add it in, and then if you scaled back, you would be able to tell the difference. Does that make sense?
You don't feel as full.
Yeah, you don't feel as full.
The fullness is different.
Yeah. It's like an actual fullness. I don't know how to explain it, but make sure you are dressing your greens so Kara doesn't have to look at your dry greens, because we get very upset about this.
I'm offended. I get
So you're personally offended.
Just from like it's not even that much from a nutritional standpoint. It's just like from the standpoint of a foodie. I'm just like
that must taste horrible, is my opinion, but I don't know. Whatever floats your boat, dude. Whatever floats your boat. Should we move on to our next topic?
Yeah. What was it?
Our next topic is, Kara and I just want to talk about what we used to eat like. So you guys get a full picture, because I think that people think that, well, I know I'll speak for myself. I think a lot of people think I've always been really healthy, and I am literally a completely different person than I was 3 years ago when I got, quote, sick.
Yeah, this is a good topic to
literally
talk about.
Like did a total 180 basically overnight. So, and I think it's important that we talk about this so that people, because I know some people think I'm so far the other direction I could never be healthy. That's not true. Anybody can change up their diet.
Literally, if we could do it,
then
anyone can. And like what you said, like I get looks from people at work, which is still bizarre to me because I work at a gym and you would think people would be healthy, but whatever. I still get like weird looks from people at work and everyone's like, you're so healthy. Like, how do you do that? All this stuff. And I'm like, girl, if only you knew me 5 years ago.
I honestly don't understand the concept of when people ask, how do you eat so healthy? How is it any different than eating unhealthy? It's just, you're just choosing a different food. It takes the exact same amount of effort, in my opinion. I genuinely don't understand.
It's because it's an addiction thing.
Yeah.
I was talking about that like with my dad the other day when I was over there, because I was saying when people say I couldn't give up gluten.
Yeah.
When they're like, I could never do that. And I'm like, I was talking to my dad. I was like, I don't understand that. Like, I did it. Like, and he said, Kara, you have to remember, like, gluten is an addiction. Gluten actually has opioids, like legitimate opioids in it. And they set off those receptors in your brain. So you get addicted, like high off of bread.
Yeah.
And
same
stuff
with
like
sugar.
that. So,
sugar is more addictive than drugs, you know? So it is an actual addiction. And at the end of the day, it's just excuses. To me, I mean, this is harsh truth, but it's kind of like, I shouldn't say that.
Real.
I shouldn't say what I was going to say, so I won't. But
But it's true.
Just like any other addiction, in my opinion. If you say you can't give up something that's harming your body, then that's just an excuse. Sorry. You can't.
But then it goes back to the thing of people saying, well, it's not harming my body. Like, I feel fine. That kind of thing. But then we're just going to go full circle with that because we've already talked about how.
Addressed it. That's not even,
we've already addressed that.
It's not even an argument. Anybody who argues that things like sugar and gluten are not unhealthy just obviously have never read scientific literature. So I don't have, like, that's like telling me that the earth is flat at this point. It's just not going to roll. Sorry.
Okay, but back to, like, what we actually, what did you used to eat?
Okay. At what stage in my life? Okay.
Well, when did you start this whole health journey thing? Like, how many years ago was that?
So it was when I was a sophomore in college.
What did you grow up eating?
Okay, let me tell you what I grew up eating. Maybe I should explain what I ate in high school. That's like a pretty good accurate representation. Maybe I'll go from middle school and then okay. It's like, this is like generally what I would eat. Okay, so for breakfast, I would wake up and I'd have a glass of orange juice, a bowl of cereal. The cereal I would eat in high school at the end when I was trying to be healthier, it was Special K with the strawberries.
Same.
Yeah, I thought that was so healthy. Yes. And also during high school, this transition from whole milk to soy milk when I thought that was healthier. But before that, I would basically rotate through like Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, the usual. Anyways, so a bowl of cereal, and then I would either have a bagel with it or waffles. If it was a special day, I would have waffles that always had chocolate chips, and instead of syrup, I used chocolate sauce, Hershey's chocolate sauce.
Oh my God.
When I had a bagel,
yes.
I would toast a cheese bagel and do a layer of butter, and then on top of that, a layer of cream cheese, and then sometimes on top of that, a layer of melted mozzarella cheese.
Wait. That's crazy.
Yeah, so there was that situation. So there was that, and then guess what? After that breakfast, I was hungry during first period. So I'd whip out my first set of snacks, which was usually a bag of Chex Mix with a bag of grapes. And then during fourth period, I'd whip out my second.
Did you think that was healthy?
Yes.
Like, looking back, did you think that was healthy? Like, I'm eating grapes.
Yeah, that was like me trying to be healthy. I thought I'd have to get my fruit in. My mom would force these things in me because she said I had to. Also, you should also understand, I did not drink plain water, until I was 20 years old. I only drank juice.
Never?
I only drank juice, Gatorade, vitamin water, and alcohol in high school.
I didn't, and alcohol. Yeah. I didn't really drink water either. Me and my friend, who I'm still friends with, we look back on this now and we are mad at ourselves because we used to go to the gas station, and we would get like the big 64-ounce refillable cups of Coke, and we would just drink that all throughout the day, and we would go back and refill it. So we were drinking ridiculous amounts of Coke every single day, and it only cost us like $1
You were drinking diabetes is what you were doing.
I probably had diabetes for a period of time.
Yeah. So there was that. Next snack was usually some kind of bar. So I liked those chewy bars. I also liked power bars, stuff like that.
Did you ever eat Cliff Bars?
I didn't like them. I liked the kids' brownies Cliff Bars. Did you ever try those?
No, but I know that's like a Cliff Bar. I feel like is the quintessential, like, people trying to be healthy bar. Yeah,
well, I wasn't trying to be healthy. I just, yeah. So I'd have one of those, and then I'd have a bag of cookies. My mom would send me a bag of cookies. So that was that. And yeah, I would usually, have you seen those mini chocolate chip cookies from Trader Joe's in that big tin?
No, never.
I would go through one of those containers every 2 days. So I was really into the cookies. Okay, then we had lunch. So lunch was typically it was usually a turkey sandwich with turkey, mayo, maybe some cheese. on a croissant, or it was an Uncrustables peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Stop.
I always had a juice box. And then
How old were you?
I was in high school. My mom would
That's like a fifth grader's one.
I know. My mom would sometimes sneak some apple slices in there. And then I would usually have some other kind of like cookie. Oh, Milanos, mint Milanos were usually in there.
Yep.
Yeah, or I would have a tangerine if she didn't give me the apple slices. So there was that. And then I would have a bag of Goldfish. So that was lunch. And then I would make it to after school. And then after school was just a giant shit show. So after school, before volleyball, I'd usually have another bar. I would rotate through a few different things. So it was either hummus with crackers. And by hummus with crackers, I would do a whole container of the hummus with the crackers.
A whole container?
Yeah. Yeah. Or I would do chips and salsa, the Tostitos mild salsa, but I would do a whole container of the Tostitos salsa with usually a whole bag of the chips. Or my mom, well, usually I had this too. My mom would make me these croissants, those Pillsbury crescent rolls.
Yeah.
She'd make me those and melt cheese in them, so I'd have those too. So that was really good. And then I would have volleyball. And then after volleyball, usually went to McDonald's. If I didn't go to McDonald's, I would go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee.
Oh my God.
At McDonald's, I'd get a double cheeseburger, ketchup only, McFlurry, large fries. Those were my go-to orders. Or if I was being healthy, I'd get banana bread. And then I
love hearing this because I can't picture you eating any of that.
Oh, this is real deal. Okay, and then I would have dinner. If it was a fancy night, I'd get sushi. But usually a typical dinner in the Rice household was a bowl of pasta, whatever that pasta was. My mom would sometimes, throw something like meatloaf or chicken with that. It was usually just like pasta is all I can think of. And then I wasn't allowed to leave the table until I finished my bowl of fruit. And by bowl, I mean this was literally 3 strawberries. I had to eat the 3 strawberries, and I hated it. And I had to eat my bowl of my side salad, which was the size of my fist, iceberg lettuce with shredded carrots and ranch dressing, because it's the only way they could get any type of lettuce or green down me.
Oh my God.
After that, I was allowed, and at least 1 full glass of 2% milk. It's the only thing I would drink.
That sounds like the standard American diet.
Yeah, until end of high school when I realized that milk was making me break out really bad, and then I switched to soy milk, vanilla soy milk by Silk brand, or the chocolate Silk, because I thought, wow, I can have chocolate milk and it's healthy. Okay, after dinner, I would literally eat Nesquik powder straight. Okay?
Ew.
I would have a toaster strudel every single night after dinner for dessert. I loved toaster strudels, and sometimes I'd have those for breakfast too, or after school snacks. So sometimes I'm having 3 toaster strudels in a day. And then my mom would always make me some kind of dessert. So I would either have like brownies or cookies. She made a lot of brownies and burnt cookies. But I also always had Ben & Jerry's. I also always had Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey in the fridge, and that was like my thing. So one of those. And that was basically a day in my life. And then I went to college, and then I just didn't know what I was doing in college. And so I would usually it went through multiple stages. So it started off with I would have a chocolate croissant for breakfast with my chai soy latte. And then I would have a wrap, like a Caesar salad wrap for lunch. And then for dinner, I'd have a panini or pizza or a quesadilla. And then in the afternoon, I would have for snacks, usually hummus with chips or something like that, or bars. And then I tried to be healthier, and this transitioned into me having oatmeal or cereal for breakfast, half a wrap for lunch, or for breakfast, gosh, I would have just a Fiber One bar, half a wrap for lunch, and then dinner I'd have I try and have a salad or like a sandwich, and then I would have froyo for dessert because I thought froyo was healthy. With my soy milk, I had to have soy milk. Realized I felt like horrible. I had no energy and I was hungry. So then I started to learn more about health, and then I transitioned into like oatmeal for breakfast, banana with nut butter, like pre-workout, you know, like that situation. Like lunch was a salad. Lunch was
that's like a huge step up.
A salad or a whole wheat wrap, and then dinner was some kind of salad. Or like it would be like, you know, tilapia with broccoli and brown rice, and then eventually transition into me. But that's basically how I ate. Any questions?
So yeah.
Oh,
I know. Can't imagine.
I know a good one. When I got to college and realized I need to drink more like water, I became addicted to those Mio things. Do you know those?
Yeah, the drops, the flavored drops.
And I would straight up pour half that bottle into one thing of water.
Oh, gross. I used to be a Crystal Light addict.
Oh, those did not taste good to me.
I was obsessed. I was obsessed with a Crystal Light pink lemonade. That's probably why I have so many issues. That
was the only good one.
Because it's sucralose city. And we all know how great aspartame and sucralose are for our bodies. I just can't imagine you eating those things. Like, I'm looking at that, I'm like, I can't see that.
I was like I'm like a creature of habit. Like and then when I went out, like, okay, like my favorite things to get when I ate, I would always get a chicken Caesar salad when I was trying to be healthy. That was like my thing. I loved things like chicken piccata and like pasta with marinara. Like I was a pasta person. Like, so very much pasta and very much paninis and things like that I really liked. And then in college I would get crepes. Like every Saturday I would get crepes. Oh
my God, yum.
I think about my boyfriend.
I love crepes, honestly.
We used to get this macaroni and cheese thing. Like you could custom make your own macaroni and cheese, and it was a ton of mac and cheese, and it was this super heavy sauce, and then you could add in like bacon and shrimp and more butter, and I don't know. And then one time I had pasta and I got extremely sick, and after that I realized I could never eat pasta again, and that was the beginning of when I started to realize that certain things weren't working for my body. It was a slow but steady process.
Yeah, so. It is really slow and steady. I'll tell you what I ate, and then I kind of want to talk more about the transition period.
Yeah.
Because like the transition period of going from like standard American diet to eating cleaner or like being paleo is so awkward, and you make so many weird, it's just so awkward. Like, cause you don't really know what you're doing, you know? And so it's weird, but I like get nauseous thinking about what I used to eat. I don't know why, but like going back into that, I'm like, I can't believe that I actually ate these things. Well, when I was young, I pretty much was like a mac and cheese addict. I just loved mac and cheese. So
what was your favorite brand?
This was a routine for me. Like every day that I came home from school, I would do one of the microwavable Easy Mac cups.
Oh,
because it took a solid 2 minutes. No, I actually didn't try Annie's until I transitioned to being like gluten-free.
Oh, that was my favorite. It was
It's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. So on Thanksgiving, this is the only time I will ever eat like mac and cheese, like real mac and cheese ever, which is on Thanksgiving because my parents, they get the gluten-free Annie's with the grass-fed cheese. I guess they have like a grass-fed cheese one now.
That's pretty like legit.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's a rice pasta with grass-fed cheese sauce.
Wow.
And yeah, they make that at Thanksgiving because my whole family like doesn't eat very good. Like my extended family, and they always want mac and cheese and they can never have it. So we bring our own and we eat it. And I still never feel good after I eat it, but whatever.
Did you have it this year?
I had a couple bites. This was the first year that I didn't like have a full bowl of mac and cheese because I knew that I would feel terrible and I just didn't want to like do that to myself. So I had a couple bites and I felt fine. But that was a daily routine, was come home from school for literally like 16 years of my life. Come home from school, eat Easy Mac, be starving, 30 minutes later, heat up some pizza rolls and or dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Did you eat Did you eat those? Oh yeah, those are like the go-to after school snack. Oh yeah, the bagel bites. Oh my god, Tostitos.
Bagel bites were my itch.
Yeah, those are so
some
good.
sort of frozen pizza. Like, I just love the frozen section in the grocery store. Me and my mom would go shopping at Walmart all the time, and the frozen section was my fave. I don't know why, I loved lean cuisines.
Really? That
was me trying to be healthy. Like, for some reason, I've always had this desire to be healthy, but it was never right. Like, just everything I did was so wrong. And I thought lean cuisines were the answer. And they came out with like the healthy steamer bowls, which doesn't make sense because microwaving isn't steaming, it's microwaving, but whatever. And I thought those were good. And that was me trying to be healthy. But growing up, I basically ate mac and cheese and pizza and all of the fast food. I would go to McDonald's. I would like beg my mom to go to McDonald's, and I would get the chicken nugget combo meal with like 10 chicken nuggets, upgrade to the super large fry, and get like an extra large Diet Coke or Coke. And I would get like eight barbecue sauce packages on the side. And that's kind of what I would eat all the time.
You know what? Gross. My favorite thing to do with the chicken nuggets, I would get the ranch and the ketchup, and you mix them together.
Ugh, I'm sorry. I hate ketchup. I hate it so much.
You haven't tried it with the ranch.
I have to talk about their chicken nuggets though, because so there are these people like myself that with the McDonald's chicken nuggets would eat the breading outside first.
That's weird.
And then eat the chicken on the inside.
Why?
I don't know, but apparently other people do this, but that's what I would do. I would eat all of the breading off of the chicken nugget and then dip the actual chicken part in barbecue sauce. I don't understand.
That's so weird.
I don't know.
I remember somebody in high school sent me a video of how they make the McDonald's patties because they were trying to like scare me because I was like known for this.
Yeah.
My McDonald's obsession. And they were showing how they put rat poop in there and how it was made from plastic and dead chickens. And
oh yeah.
I just didn't care.
Neither did I. I saw it and I did not care at all. I just kept eating it. But in high school, I mean, I just kind of ate whatever I had, like in middle school or whatever. And I'm an only child, so I kind of just got whatever I wanted, honestly. I just begged. I would basically beg. And my parents were like kind of in this transition of wanting to get a divorce. So I was always fighting like with one or the other. And I knew that somebody would cave in and like give me what I want.
Yeah.
Because of that whole situation. So like fast food was a weird comfort for me like during that time. And so I just begged my parents for food all the time. So I got whatever junk food I wanted. And in high school, once I started driving, that was a problem because every single day I would go to Chick-fil-A. Do you guys have Chick-fil-A?
We have it in LA. I didn't have it like growing up, but
it's so good. It's so good. I haven't had it in like 5 years, but I would go to Chick-fil-A every morning, get honey butter chicken biscuits with hash browns and a Coke. And then I would go to Starbucks and get a venti white chocolate mocha frappuccino.
Oh yeah, those were good.
Venti. I can't believe how much sugar was in that. But then I would go to school. I would eat all that in class. And then I remember like fighting to keep my eyes open in chemistry. And I felt stupid. Like, and I was smart, like in school. I've always gotten really great grades, but I could not understand like my senior year AP chemistry. And now looking back, I'm like, it was probably because I came into class every day with 80 million grams of sugar in Chick-fil-A, and I was fighting to stay awake. And I was also on drill team in high school. So there were just tons of opportunities for eating terrible. And we all would eat lunch together sometimes. And like we'd go out and get fast food like Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, whatever, you name it. I also had a really bad Red Bull addiction. I would drink the 20-ounce Red Bulls, like the big ones. Like sometimes I'd drink 2 or 3 in a day. And I thought the sugar-free ones were healthy. So I would drink the sugar-free ones. It was bad. It was just really bad.
Did I ever tell you about my 5-hour energy thing?
I think you did.
Yeah, like I always kept my locker is totally stocked. And I would drink at least 2 to 3 a day, every single day.
Oh my God. That is just terrible. And my mom, we've talked about this before, and I drank these energy drinks because I could not make it through the day. And looking back on it, I was clearly not well. This was also the time that I got mono in high school also, and it basically knocked me out for like my whole junior year. Like I thought I was going to be truant and all this stuff and like not be able to graduate, but I had to force myself to go to school at some point, and the only way I could get through it was Red Bull. And my mom, like I was talking to her about this, and she said she felt like such a failure of a parent because she would watch me like drink all these Red Bulls and stuff and be exhausted, but like she didn't know what to do. You know, like she didn't know of any other solution. And that kind of like scares me looking out on that because there's so many other people that are in the same position, like high schoolers that are drinking all these like energy drinks, and their parents are just like, well, I don't know, like what else to do to help them, you know, like they're tired.
I'll tell you what my mom did, because the same thing happened to me with the mono, and I was so tired. She would shove Jell-O down my throat. She told me I needed Jell-O to get some energy.
That's terrible.
She literally locked me in my room, and I wasn't allowed to leave until I finished the whole thing of Jell-O.
First of all, Jell-O is disgusting.
I know, I hated it.
I feel bad for you.
So gross. And then what she did was she tried to put fruit in the Jell-O to trick me into eating fruit.
Ugh, no, that is so bad. But it's still like, it just sucks because parents like still don't know.
Yeah, can we also talk about how like in high school and college, or I don't know, we used to think of well, at least I did. You would think of these drinks like a Frappuccino from Starbucks, or, you know, as just like a drink. Like it didn't count. You know, it didn't count as anything. It was just like an extra thing to add in.
Yeah, it was just a beverage. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It doesn't have any calories, like no effect.
Exactly.
Just some random liquid.
Exactly. Like I can't even get over that. Did you ever have those TV dinners when you were a kid? Those plastic TV dinners?
Yeah, I would eat those because I was obsessed with frozen meals.
Yeah, those were I thought they were so good. I remember I just got them because I wanted the chocolate pudding, and I think about it now, and I'm pretty sure that was not made from anything actually edible.
No, like, they're not. Were made from
they're not at all plastic. Like, there's just no way. There's just no way.
They kind of even tasted like plastic. Oh, but going into college, things got exponentially worse, like with my eating habits. I already never like, oh wait, never mind. Let me back up. I did have some experience with healthy eating because my dad and my stepmom, when they first met, they were raw vegans for a while. So I like had an experience with healthy food.
Their salads?
Oh God. Yeah, they did, but with like, you know, I don't know with what, honestly. Yeah, lemon juice or like some weird something. I don't know what they were doing, but I had a bad experience. Like, it kind of gave like healthy food a bad rap for me because what would happen was I would go over to my dad's house and he would be making some like raw vegan pizza. I remember that very well, and I hated it. I hated all of it. I was like, I hate the fact that this is lukewarm. It's like not hot. It tastes like dirt. Like, what is this or whatever? And then I would go walk to McDonald's. I would tell my dad that I'm going to a friend's house, and I would walk to McDonald's to get myself some real food. So it like made me kind of hate healthy food a little bit also. And it was just a bad relationship. And now looking back on it, I really wish that I would have just eaten that food because I love raw vegan food now. It's like so good. So, but I did have some experience with that. And my dad, we would cook stir fry together and all this stuff when he was transitioning off of being raw vegan. And my dad dieted a lot growing up. So we did like the zone diet and all of these different things. The zone diet was actually kind of fun though, but he did food combining, and I often participated in these, and I know he was just doing it to try to make the family like healthier, you know, but I always participated in this, and we would have days when we did food combining. I don't know if you're familiar with the rules, but we would go out to eat and they're like, okay, this is a carb and vegetable day, so we can't have meats like with our rice because of food combining. And I'm like, okay, like I just want some chicken, but it was really weird. So I went through a lot of that. And I guess I took college as a time to rebel and like eat everything. And me and my friends, who I'm still friends with to this day, 2 of them, we just went to Olive Garden all the time. And I ate like 12 breadsticks a meal, basically pasta, carbonara, all the pasta you could imagine. We'd go to the dining hall and just eat cookies, everything. Go to Cece's and like eat a whole pizza. You know what Cece's is?
Yeah, I know what
Okay,
Cece's
I don't know
is.
if they have. You're like, I know.
Oh, I know, girl, I know.
But yeah, it was bad. Just college spiraled like out of control, basically. And I would eat like whole pizzas to myself and sit in my dorm room all day and drink a liter of Coke and eat 8 bags of hot Cheetos. Hot Cheetos were my thing. So I was not like at all means a healthy person growing up. And I was always sick. That's the thing to like keep in mind is I was always sick all the time. So there actually were things wrong with me and I was just ignoring them, you know?
Yeah. Well, and that's why people so right before I started eating a little bit healthier, what pushed me into that was my binge eating and like the things I binged on. You know, you're talking to somebody who would sit down, I would eat. Have you ever seen those huge containers of trail mix from Target?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd eat like a whole one of those at night, and then I'd have like 2 to 3 bags of chocolate chips, and then a few gallons of ice cream pretty much every night. And like that was just after dinner. Do you know what I mean? Like, and so if I can wake up one day and go from doing that every night to eating vegetables and protein and eggs, and you know, anybody can do it, you know?
Yeah, it's true. And the transition may be like weird, and it's okay if you're not perfect. Like that's what we're getting at. Cause like my transition from all of that crap to being paleo was a couple years long, and it was really awkward, and I didn't know what I was doing. Like I first went to some weird, applied kinesiology, like muscle testing doctor. And I had no idea what she was doing. Like the whole time my parents took me to her because I had so many issues. And she basically like told me I cannot eat, like she just said, stop eating gluten, like just don't eat gluten and dairy anymore. And I was like, okay. So I went on like a gluten-free diet, and I just transitioned to like gluten-free breads and like, you know, the typical like gluten-free treats and stuff. But I worked some occasional, like more fruit in there, a little bit more salads and stuff, but it was not perfect by all means. I ate just gluten-free junk food, but even that transition from going from normal standard American junk food to gluten-free junk food is still like an important step in a journey. Like it still is taking progress, but the key thing is to make sure you are still progressing and you're not just sticking to the gluten-free junk food. Like you need to move through that stage. And eventually I realized this is still not working. And I went back, and she's like, okay, well, that's because you're eating gluten-free junk food. She's like, just cut out all the grains and all the junk food and eat more vegetables. And then I did that, and I was starving all the time because I realized my portions were so low. And I would eat these tiny salads with like a couple strawberries and like a sausage. Yeah. Like that's what I would eat. So it takes time.
Most people don't realize how much more food they need to eat when they're eating whole foods. Volume is different. You know, it took me a long time to figure that out too. And I agree. I think that any change is a positive change. And for me, what helped me the most was I think that just picking one meal and sticking with it. So maybe, and it can be something easy. So for me, two meals that were really easy for me to do were breakfast and lunch, because I said, okay, I'm just going to eat a salad for lunch. I didn't even focus on it being gluten-free, dairy-free salad. I said, I'm just going to eat a salad for lunch, and I would go get a to-go salad from the cafe, you know, at college, whatever. Yeah. And just getting in the habit of eating a salad made it over time easier to say, okay, now I'm going to take out this, I'm going to switch out the dressing instead. You know, now I'm going to get rid of the croutons, you know, over time, but just switching to a salad. So I was used to eating a salad at lunch. That was easy. And then for breakfast, you know, I switched and I said, I'm just going to have eggs. That's easy. Every morning I'm just going to have eggs, you know. And then I just got into a routine with having eggs and a salad. And then eventually, like, dinner came later, you know. But I think that you just picking one meal to start with and be like, one meal a day this week. It can be, you can have the same thing, but say you decide, okay, I'm going to do a healthy breakfast every morning. You know, you can make a big egg casserole one night and then you have it and then just focus on breakfast, or, you know, scramble some eggs, whatever, or you could do a smoothie. You know, I think just when you're transitioning, focusing on one meal at a time is easier for people. It also just depends if you're an all or nothing person. Some people, it's easier just to go all in, but if you're not that kind of person, just focus on one thing at a time. And even if it's just adding in one quote healthy meal this week, like that is a huge improvement. I think any change is better than just not doing anything, you know?
No, I agree. And the one meal at a time thing is a really good strategy. And I considered myself, though, I still do consider myself a very all or nothing type of person. But even when I did dive in, like in the past, and I'm like, okay, all or nothing, like I'm going full on paleo, like I probably made more mistakes than I did if I would have taken it more slowly and just actually like done more research and tried to plan things out a little bit better and take it one meal at a time or one elimination at a time. Because yeah, sure, I felt a little bit better. Like actually I felt a lot better when I went full blown paleo really quickly, but I was chronically under eating for a very long time. And that messed me up a little bit for the long run because I did not give my body like enough time to adjust or acclimate. And it just set me up for a little bit more of issues. So like, if you feel like your progress is slow, like that is still okay. That's something to know that it's okay because you're taking your time and you are easing into things as long as you are still progressing and not just stuck in a specific stage, then you are still doing okay. And it may be better in the long run to do that than to just cut everything out. But once again, it does depend on the person.
I agree with that completely. And I had a similar experience and I got myself, like Kara, into much deeper. I made it worse for myself because I caused more problems because I tried to just go into healthy eating and I dropped my calories by so much and didn't realize. And I also wish I hadn't been doing it myself at first. It wasn't until I started working with a nutritionist, honestly, that I figured it out because I was just going off of what all these girls were posting on their blogs and on Instagram. And I thought those were healthy meals. And they were basically low-calorie diet meals that weren't even, you know, there's just all this fake health information. I think it's gotten a lot better. Honestly, I think it's gotten a lot better now than it was when I was trying to make the transition. I think so, but I wish that I had done more of my own research and wasn't just copying what I saw other girls eating because it was I feel like the classic diet or even nutritionists I saw, though, were giving me horrible meal plans. It was always oatmeal for breakfast, a salad for lunch, and the salads that were pictured were always these small salads with like an egg
no
on
dressing.
Top. Yeah, no dressing, and like an egg and like some tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes, like, you know, very measly salads. And then dinner would be, you know, just some steamed asparagus with this salmon fillet or something like that. You know, that is not enough food.
No, it's not. It's not enough food. And I do think the information nowadays is a lot better depending on who you follow, because there are definitely still people that push that, but the information is better for sure. But the transition period is always just awkward. Like I literally would eat a sausage and a zucchini that I grilled.
Yeah.
And that was
like,
it. Like, whoa. That was a meal.
I know.
Yeah, that was a meal. And now if I eat that, I'm like, okay, that was a snack. So it's completely different now.
I was looking through all of my old pictures from beginning of this transition because I used to have to take pictures and send it to my nutritionist to show them what I was eating. And I look at my meals and I was barely eating anything and it was so bland and boring. And I would eat just quinoa. I didn't know how to cook quinoa, and I just like cooked it. And it was just plain quinoa. And then I would bake some chicken and you get those like steamed Brussels sprouts from Trader Joe's, and that would be my dinner. And I'd have like 4 Brussels sprouts with like a little bit of quinoa, and then some like chicken. I'm just like,
Yeah,
what was
just
I
like
doing?
not enough.
Yeah, no
Not
fat, not
enough
enough
food.
food. I mean, yeah, but all of those steps eventually led us to where we are. So I think the point is just that don't be hard on yourself if you can't wake up tomorrow and,
Make a huge change.
Yeah. It's even if you are somebody who wakes up and makes a huge change, like I think we thought we were at the time, looking back, it was such a long process. So,
5 years for me and probably for you too.
Yeah, years. So just understanding that. And I think we just wanted to talk about this just so that you guys understand that we didn't grow up eating healthy all the time. I talk to people are just so shocked when they hear that, and even when I go home, when I go back to the Bay and, I see people that I haven't seen in a while and they'll say, oh, let's go to IHOP like we used to. Let's go to McDonald's. They don't even and I'm just thinking, oh shoot, you don't know me at all, So
exactly. We've changed a lot, and if you didn't know us like before, then you wouldn't understand like how far we've come. So just basically don't get discouraged like wherever you are in your point of your health journey right now, because like you're on the right track. No matter what you think, you're on the right track and you will get to where you need to be. And we just wanted to give you like a real glimpse into who we were. And if we could like make this complete 360 and go from eating toaster strudels and McDonald's every day and microwavable Easy Mac to like strict paleo, tons of vegetables, meat, fat, and never want to eat toaster strudels ever again, then you can get there, or you can at least get to wherever you need to be in the health journey. So
and also,
that's what we're getting at.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing that I just want to say is there are so many things that I thought I could never give up. I wasn't one of those people who just thought, if somebody said, oh, you need to take this out of your diet, where I was like, okay, whatever. This was at the time very emotionally hard, and I thought I could never give these things up. And now I look back and there is nothing that I miss. There's nothing that I miss. Anything that I want.
Me either, really.
Anything that I want, I can have a paleo version of. But I don't, I have fond McDonald's memories with my friends, but I would never actually want to go back and eat it. I don't, no. I think that my food now is so freaking good, we run into this problem now because Kara and I, we can cook better for ourselves than we could ever get out at a restaurant. Is how we feel. And
sucks.
All these foods that I just thought I could never live without, that were part of my everyday, that I couldn't give up, I don't miss at all. And it really was an addiction and just a mindset thing at the time, so it's just like, it's breaking an addiction is really what it is at the end of the day.
Yep. I agree. 100%.
So hopefully you guys found that interesting.
At least interesting. Yeah. I was like, if anything, you found that at least interesting and you learned something new about us today.
I mean, we know that so many of you can relate, so whether you're new to this or old to this, sometimes it's fun. It's just funny to sit back and think about what we used to eat and realize how much things can change, because I know Kara and I'm sure if we talked to our 15-year-old selves, they would never believe what we're eating now,
Jeez, no.
I also wonder what if I had never like gotten sick and then been forced into basically eating so quote clean, and what would I be eating like now if I never learned about health? And I am genuinely scared for myself what that would have been.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Very, very scared. But that all comes back to everything that we're doing now, like builds up to something later on. So that's just kind of a life lesson. But
exactly. Cool. Okay.
I'm glad you guys found that interesting. I'm just going to assume that you did. And if you liked it, just go join our Facebook group, Straight Up Paleo Pals. It is always popping up in there. We've had just an influx of awesome women and men wanting to join our Straight Up Paleo Pals group. And it's just a place to meet other like-minded people and just chat with them and talk about all things health and wellness. And they can answer questions with you, and we'll be there to just pop in every now and then and say, hey, what's up? So
yeah.
Sup.
And we just did this random episode, but we will be answering questions next week, we promise. So make sure you send in questions to straightuppaleo@gmail.com or submit them on our website, straightuppaleo.com. And or if you don't have a specific question that you want us to answer, if there's a topic you want us to just talk about like this, then you can send in that suggestion too. We just want to talk about whatever you guys want to hear.
Yep,
So
basically.
yeah, we would love to hear from you. So do you have any other final words, Kara? Are we good?
Nope. We're good to go.
We hope you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we love you.
Love ya.
All right.
Bye.